All right, so now we are starting the new unit, and it is the transfer of ownership, TOP. Okay, transfer of ownership. Now, when I take this topic on my discussion, general query what I get from the students are, so why you are teaching this? You already know. You very well explained section 26. As soon as the ownership gets transferred, the buyer becomes the owner and he would bear the risk on destruction, default. A lot of angles we try to learn. Why are you teaching this? Guys, TOP, transfer of property. Property stands for general property. General property would mean your ownership. So, TOP means transfer of ownership. That's how we should interpret. This is how we should interpret. Okay. Why this chapter is important? Giving you a question, try to solve it. Ready? Assume that after giving chapter 1, I go to BMW showroom. After going to BMW showroom, guys, what I want to buy the car. I want to buy the car. I want to buy the car. I went there. I selected one, assume blue colored, wonderful car. The price was 1 crore. I identified, showroom owner identified, so almost the who's involved in the deal is what? So I said that okay, fine, this is the car what I want to select, but you know what? I am Hindu by religion, and in my religion, I believe on time. Certain things should be done on certain time. We believe on Murat. So I assume that just after 20 days there is Dashera. Dashera everyone knows? It is festival. After 20 days, there's Dashera, and we believe that buying vehicle on Dashera is very auspicious. Worshipping vehicles and weapons during Dashera, it's called Ayudha Puja, is very auspicious. So please deliver me the car not today, but after 20 days when Dashera comes. And showroom owner says, okay, no problem. I will do. Are the terms clear? 1 crore rupees, BMW car. Car should be given after 20 days on the showroom. Just on 15th day, unfortunately, fire taken place in the showroom and all the cars got destroyed, including mine one. Including mine. All the cars got destroyed. Nothing is left. Owner of the car showroom comes to me and says, Mr. Chirag, sorry, I cannot supply the car. You know what happened? You know what happened? I said, yes, I know. My deep sympathy, huge loss, but what we can do, something what is unexpected. Right. Showroom owner says, okay, Mr. Chirag, thank you for your sympathy, but tell me when you are going to pay my 1 crore. I said, excuse me, what? When you are going to pay my 1 crore? I said, why kiss baat mein 1 crore? Why I should pay you 1 crore? You have not delivered me the car yet. I didn't take the position. Why should I give? Then showroom owner says, sir, I think you don't know the provisions of Sales of Goods Act. According to the provisions of the Sales of Goods Act, as soon as the ownership transfers, buyer becomes owner and subsequent destruction, irrespective of the possession. I think that already we understood, right? Subsequent destruction, owner should bear the loss. And this fire, I didn't lit up. Okay, it happened automatically, so that is not my fault. Please pay me my 1 crore. Guys, on what basis this BMW owner is asking the money? Showroom owner is asking the money. Ownership had been transferred. Transfer of property has already been taken place. Now the buyer is the owner. At the time of destruction, according to section 26, owner should bear the loss. So these argued that you are supposed to bear the loss. Now buyer's argument here. Buyer's argument, my argument. I said, sir, I also studied because I'm also a chartered accountant. I know that at the time of destruction, irrespective of the possession, owner bears the risk. But I want to tell you, I have not get any ownership yet. I didn't get any ownership. I didn't get any ownership. Sure, owner says you got the ownership. I deny to take the ownership. My question now is not like this that who will bear the loss, owner will bear the loss or not. That is not my question. My question is, in this situation, tell me the point of time, exactly when the ownership gets transferred. You got the problem? Please try to understand this time frame here. This time frame, before this time frame, seller is the owner. After this time frame, buyer is the owner, guys. My question: how will you decide this time frame, guys? Now our discussion is based on that. Arshit,
No, I would have asked an answer to that question.
you want to answer?
I can.
Please.
Okay, so basically, if the BMW car which you had purchased is put in deliverable state and the seller calls and gives you a notice that it is ready, you can come and collect. So that from that point of time you become the owner when you have received the notice, but before that seller remains the owner.
Very much close to the answer, but incomplete. ये काफ़ी अच्छी पढ़ाई है बेटा, मैं बोल रहा हूँ कि ये शायद, चलो आपने पढ़ा है, आपने अटेम्प्ट भी दिया, लेकिन इतना रिकॉल करना, ठीक है, लेकिन फिर भी कहूँगा इनकम्प्लीट है थोड़ा सा। क्यों, मैं बताऊँगा आपको, कारण है मेरे पास, ठीक है। ये आंसर और भी ज़्यादा ब्यूटीफाई हो सकता था, बट वेरी मच क्लोज टू द आंसर। अदर्स आर थिंकिंग बोला क्या इसने, बताता हूँ धीरे धीरे। So guys, okay, fine. Before I move on, like I think everyone understood now the why we are learning this chapter. Now it's not about everyone knows owner, but who is the owner? How will you decide?
So, kind of what he told, if the buyer is informed about it, that the notice, and he knows that it's put in deliverable state, then that point of time he becomes the owner.
Incomplete. Okay, fine. Let's go. I was expecting just one sentence in both of your discussion. That one is only missing thing. Perhaps you would have. The answer could be complete. Let's now dig down to this, like how to solve this situation. So guys, in this chapter we are going to learn the point of time after when the buyer is considered as the owner of the goods. Before that point of time, seller was the owner. Okay guys, so in our syllabus we have basically these 4 points to learn here. The point number one, transfer of ownership in case of specific goods. When the ownership gets transferred in case of specific goods, in case of uncertain goods, in case of sale on approval basis, and last one is the sale by non-owner. These 4 points we have in this topic to learn. I'm not putting on the board directly, let's just go with the specific goods. Specific goods, guys. This topic is actually categorized into these 3 parts. First, when goods are in deliverable state. In deliverable state, then when the ownership gets transferred. If the specific goods are in non-deliverable state, then what happens? And if some process to determine the contract price is pending, then what happens? Contract price is what? Pending. Then how the ownership gets transferred. बस इतना हमको समझना है. Now before I go to touch this thing is like, we have 3 sections back to back. Section 20, this is 21, and this is 22. Let's talk about what they mean by deliverable state. Anyone can explain?
Yes. So the state of the good defined in the contract of sale is known to be and is agreed by the buyer and the seller that this specific and upon the mention of this state of the good, like its description of how the buyer wants the good to be as, that is the state which it is called as deliverable state.
Means the next step is readily deliverable goods.
Next step is,
Like the goods are completely
can I ask
ready
you
now
one
for
question? Are you convinced with your own answer? ठीक है चलो, सिंप्लीफाई करते हैं इसको। चलो इतना टफ नहीं है भाई, आराम से चलते हैं। Assume, my dear students, that if I have ordered the sugar, like I just came to your place and you are the like manufacturer of the sugar. I came to your sugar factory and I placed the order to buy 50,000 kgs, like 50 tons sugar. So what happens is, like I came to you and what happened? You are the big piles of the sugar. I saw the quality and I asked that this huge pile, what's the quantity? And you said, this is exactly 50 tons. I said, I want to buy this. I said, okay, sir, this pile is yours. I have made the contract to buy 50 tons sugar. 50 tons of sugar. I was waiting for my sugar. Suddenly, I found that there are 5 trucks back to back in my factory, in my godown. Each is carrying 10 tons of sugar. As soon as I open the sugar, that truck's doors, guys, what I found that entire sugar comes on me, and I was literally swimming in those. जस्ट इमेजिन गाइस, जैसे आपने दरवाजा खोला और पूरा शुगर आपके ऊपर। इट वॉज इन लूज फॉर्म, इट वॉज इन लूज फॉर्म। उनका ये बंदा पागल हो गया यार। अबे बिना पैकिंग की शुगर कौन भेजता है? मेरे नाक में, मुंह में, कान में शुगर ही शुगर थी। आप जस्ट इमेजिन यार, स्वीट बॉल या कुछ भी आप बोल लो, ठीक है। बात ये है गाइस, माय कंप्लेंट इज लाइक, हु सेल्स लाइक दिस? हु सेल्स लाइक दिस? थैंक गॉड इट वाज शुगर एंड नॉट ऑयल। सनफ्लावर ऑयल 50,000 लीटर्स, अरे मेरा टैंकर आ गया, खोल उसको। My point of concern is, like, I called the seller and blasted on him, stating that, moron, why these goods are not packed? And seller's argument is, sir, I supplied what you selected. Okay, I'm not asking you what will happen, blah blah. Case ko chodo. My simple question: whether goods are in deliverable state or not? Whether goods are in deliverable state or not? Okay, fine. In this kinds of question, generally what I have observed is the students answering, sir, the goods are not in deliverable state. The reason is they are not packed. They are not. So anything what is in loose form, they are in deliverable state or not in deliverable state. Let's say if you want to buy the iPhones, if the packing is not done, will you accept? So deliverable state, generally the observation. In fact, if I ask this query to the faculty, they also answer like this, sir, deliverable state means goods are not packed, not polished, okay, not properly marked with certain stamps and certain tags, then goods are not in deliverable state. They are in loose form. Then I have a counter argument for this. Guys, try to understand today in the morning in Bangalore, like most of your day starts with the Nandini Dairy milk. How Nandini Dairy milk collecting the milk? They are going to villages. From the villages, they are buying milk in loose form. Do you know that? All those, like I would say, containers are getting just emptied in the huge tanker.
Yeah.
So they are not packing the milk and then they are carrying. No, पूरा loose form में होता। My point is, sorry to interrupt, just my point is, who said that goods cannot be in loose form? Who said the goods cannot be in loose form? Can you tell me, guys, Nandini Dairy when buying that tons of liters of milk every day from the villagers, isn't it in deliverable state?
So water tankers are also.
Pardon?
Water tankers.
Even the water tanker, right now the Bangalore is facing that crisis. The old Bangalore I can't see when I came for the first time, guys. अगर टेम्परेचर 37 हो गया ना बेटा, तो हाय हाय यहाँ पे 40 प्लस जा रहा है अभी। एवरी डे इट्स रेनिंग, एवरी डे इट वॉज रेनिंग, लाइक टुडे रेन कहाँ, रेन कहाँ है? बट आई डोंट वांट टू कमेंट ऑन दैट गाइस। वाटर टैंकर्स दे आर आल्सो इन लूज फॉर्म। सो पैकिंग इज नॉट ओनली द फैक्टर डिसाइडिंग द डिलीवरेबल स्टेट। देखो, व्हेन आई एम रेजिंग दिस पॉइंट, मेरा एक ही सवाल है। If the question I'm asking in exam for 6 marks, How will you convince me the delivery state? Then here's something.
The
Simple
state
from
in
the
which
person
both
and
buyer
his
and seller
usability and his
agree.
purpose.
The state in which both buyer and seller agree with supply.
But you agree word है ना? But let me tell you, law doesn't define in that way. Do you know what law says in this? Let me make it simplified. Law में अगर आप definition देखोगे, what is the meaning of deliverable state? It gives just one small sentence. The state of goods would be considered as a deliverable state when buyer is bound to accept delivery. इतना ही लिखा है. क्या लिखा है? Buyer is bound to accept delivery. खत्म बात. State of delivery would be considered as deliverable state when buyer is bound to accept delivery. But now we have to go in detail, right? Depth. You tell me one thing, guys. When buyer is bound, better listen to my words. I'm using one technical word called bound. ये bound कोई mental bound नहीं है. It's legally bound to accept. It means if you are not accepting, I can force you legally to accept it. That's called the word bound here. एवरी वर्ड पे फोकस करना आपको. हर एक वर्ड जो है ना, अगर वो समझ में आ गया, लॉ आराम से हो जाएगा आपका. You are legally bound. That means if I supply, if you don't accept it, I have court which will make you to accept it and to pay me for that. ये ऐसा नहीं है guys that if I have delivered the goods of 50 crore rupees, they say hey, today my mood is not there to accept it, get lost. ऐसा थोड़ी चलता है भाई. So your biggest question comes that when you are bound to accept the goods. So my simple answer is, if seller is delivering the goods in the state, in the way buyer demands, buyer expect, the way you demand, if I supply accordingly, you do not have any chance to come back. But यहाँ पे डाउट है, बहुत बड़ा डाउट है, क्योंकि एक जगह पे ये लिखा हुआ था, it is the seller's duty to supply the goods in such a form what buyer demands. It's not your cup of tea. Like, it's not your choice. If buyer wants without label, you have to supply. If buyer wants in 100 kg packing, you have to supply in. But your demand word है ना, वो controversial है, because that gentleman who wrote that book of sales of goods and services didn't discuss about the demand. Because here we can go with some weird interpretation also. You have to fulfill all the expectations and all the demands of buyer. कल वो बोलेगा कि नाचते नाचते मेरे को गुड्स भेज दो, तो मैं डांसिंग बैंड लेके जाऊंगा भाई. हाँ, डांटे तेरे गुड्स आ गए ना, मेरे गुड्स आ गए, वो राम जी है, वो गाना बन जाएगा. तो देखो, ये डिमांड वर्ड को इंटरप्रेट करना जरूरी है. डिमांड इन व्हाट कॉन्टेक्स्ट गाइस? इट्स नॉट अबाउट एनी काइंड ऑफ डिमांड. इट इज द डिमांड व्हाट इज अग्रीड इन द कॉन्ट्रैक्ट. It is the form which is agreed in the contract. So if you want in loose form, if you have agreed in loose form, in the agreement, you say that I want in loose form, don't pack it. I have packing facility, I will pack on my own. And if I supply in loose form, are you bound to accept the delivery legally? Can you make any drama over there? Answer is no, my dear students. You are bound to accept delivery, goods are in delivery stage. बस ये समझ रहे हैं आपको. कुछ लोग कहते हैं सर, if goods are not packed, they are not in deliverable state. ऐसा नहीं है. एक CPT में क्वेश्चन आई थी. Buyer agreed that I want with the red labels. My tags and the labels on the container should be what? Which color?
Red.
By mistake, the seller supplied with the blue color. Explain whether goods are in deliverable state or not. But packing में है. You want a 10 kg container, I have supplied in 10 kg container. But only mistake as being seller, what I made is like instead of your red one, I just printed the blue labels. Red one, of course I told you. Buyer wanted red one according to the contract, but I supplied in what? Blue color. My simple question to you is like whether goods are in deliverable state. No. But the answer to this question is no, it is not in deliverable state, even though they are packed. So it is about the demand. In fact, not the word demand, but expectation is the correct word. Desire is the correct word. What I want to use here. But expectations does not mean any kind of random expectations. Expectations what you expressed in the contract and seller is accepted. If you demanded your goods should be packed in 100 kg bag, by mistake I just give you 200 kgs bag, are goods in deliverable state? Legally, whether can buyer say that I will not accept the goods because goods are not according to the description? No matter quality is the same, but the quantity what I wanted, the packaging what I wanted, it's not in the same way. Can buyer avoid your obligations to pay? Of course, goods are not in delivery stage. Guys, supplying milk in loose form is in deliverable state because this is how exactly buyer wants in the contract. Now, in fact, if the let's say the villages are so generous and they start packing the goods in polythenes and supply, वैसे तो सुबह polythene में देने वाला है, एक काम हम ही बना के देते हैं. In fact, that works as the non-deliverable state. I hope I'm clear. So, guys, the simple definition is buyer is bound to accept the delivery. Now, the question comes: what if the agreement is silent? What if the agreement is, so guys, if the agreement is silent, means the buyer doesn't say anything about the packing, then if you are delivering the goods according to the accepted market practices, according to accepted market practices, guys, when you go to buy the new mobile phone, market की practice क्या है? Not only packed, sealed और उसके ऊपर प्लास्टिक की लेयर लगी होनी चाहिए. guys, अगर वो seal broken है, even though buyer didn't agree, but if the seal is broken, are you under obligation to accept that phone?
Yeah.
Are kya yes?
No,
I can say sorry, sir, the seal is broken. I think some might have accessed it. I don't want to accept it. Take it back. Goods are not in deliverable state because according to the market practices, it is not in the state what buyer is expecting to have it. So, guys, my point is, if the good like the those conditions about the delivery or expectations are not mentioned, the simple point is you have to follow the custom, and custom is nothing but the market practices. I guess in this classroom I have already mentioned about it. Am I clear? बोलो, समझ में आ गई बात? ठीक है बेटा. डिलीवरेबल स्टेट का मतलब क्या होता है? चलिए बेटा, आप थोड़ा और डिटेल में चल सकते हैं. मैं आपको दो एग्जांपल्स दूंगा, उसके ट्रीटमेंट देनी है आपको. रेडी? हाँ बेटा, आपका नाम क्या है? नियति. Tomorrow is Mother Day, assume, and Niyati wants to treat her mother with iPhone. She goes to a mall. Unfortunately, the mall has 20 floors, and mobile shops are situated at the 20th floor. She takes those lift, goes to 20th floor, tells that, sir, excuse me, I just want to buy one iPhone 15. And then that agent says, ma'am, all these phones are iPhones, tell me which one you want to. Like there are different colors. And suddenly Niyati just points out that, sir, that one. That great titanium, that's what I wanted. That man picked it up and just gave on the hands of Niyati and says that Niyati was just looking into the phone, and suddenly she called the mom to treat. Mom, thank you for all what you gave me and happy Mother's Day. And you know what, like tomorrow, this is what I'm selecting for you. She was just randomly talking on the phone, and suddenly somebody unintentionally pushed her from the back. And that phone got slipped from the hands. She's at the what? Which floor? But packing में नहीं खुला अभी तो. Unfortunately, the phone got destroyed. I know, guys, owner will bear the loss. Who was the owner?
so she paid.
Did she pay him? No.
Sir, in the who was the buyer?
Who was the buyer?
Owner, yeah. She will only build the bus.
Okay, so
So the
Niyati.
phone is completely packed like how you buy a brand new phone.
It isn't packed, that's why it fell out.
वो आप सोचिए, वही मैं चाहता हूँ कि आप सोचो.
No, sir.
मेरी
Owner.
डिकेड से कई सारे मैंने देखा कि जो यूथ है ना आज का पूरा, वो स्टक हो गया है सोशल मीडिया, वीडियो गेम्स में. उनकी थिंकिंग एबिलिटी पे अटैक हो रहा है. देखो, मैं खुद इस समस्या से पीड़ित हूँ. जब शॉर्ट्स या इंस्टाग्राम शुरू हो जाए, वो इतने अट्रैक्टिव होता है, हम कंट्रोल नहीं करते और बस वो थम. अब एक ऑटो पायलट बन गया, टाक 60 सेकंड्स, टाक 60 सेकंड्स, टाक. चलो उसमें मेरे को नहीं जाना है, बस वही मैं बोलता हूँ, सोचिए. चलो एक और एग्जाम्पल देते हैं. आई टोल्ड यू आई गिव टू एग्जाम्पल्स.
Just one thing.
बोलो.
The phone that fell, that was the phone that she was like testing and seeing for the first
अब
time.
बताओ मतलब वो कॉन्फ़िगरेशन वगैरह देख रहे थे फोन के मामलों में.
So one is
So that was a sample case that.
नो
no.
बॉक्स बोल रहा था.
So it is a WhatsApp shop.
बॉक्स पूरा मतलब.
So I don't know, but somewhere I remember reading in sales of goods that if the buyer conveys in either by saying or in an indirect form that they assume that they are the owner by showing by any
डोंट
means
मेक इट टू
the
कॉम्प्लेक्स
actions.
गाइस. एक ही वर्ड है उसका. चलो छोड़ो.
So shop is the owner.
चलो 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 चलो. मेरा काम है समझाना. हम समझते हैं. Look what I want from you. Look, you people are damn good in English language. You take care of the sentences. That's all. अगर उतना कर लिया बेटा, my concepts, your sentences, both will win the battle. I hope I'm clear. चलो. Second example, he goes to that mall, 20th floor, to buy, bag of phone. She goes to the 20th floor and says this, that titanium grey था ना, please show me that. Shopkeeper ने बताया उसको, हाँ देख. She saw it and she just says that what's the price? She says 1.5 lakhs. 1.5 lakhs. Okay, fine. Confirmed. Seller says, okay ma'am, fine, I'm starting preparing the bill. And she called from the other phone to her mom and trying to convey all those greetings and all that. Same thing. Bill is not prepared yet. Money is not paid yet. Suddenly somebody unintentionally pushed it and same thing. I know owner will be at loss.
So give less than
Again, my question is,
So the context is void.
It's zero point.
who will bear the loss? अच्छा देखो मैं जानता हूँ. This is my experience. Sometimes when I give this to examples, कुछ लोग बोलते हैं दोनों में फर्क क्या है? Guys, are these two examples same or different?
One was price was agreed, the other one.
Are these two? Chalo, I think price was agreed. I want to make the situation more complex.
Thank you, sir.
In first example, you ask for the price. What's the price? And seller says, ma'am, 1.5x. Okay, 1.5. She called and then it fell down. Same thing.
She confirmed after the second one.
Sorry?
She confirmed the second case.
Guys, बस यही मेरे को चाहिए था. Guys, these two examples are not same. They're totally different. In first example, she didn't confirm that I want to buy this. In second example, she almost said start preparing the bill. But जब आप बोल रहे हो bill बना तो क्यों? Decoration के लिए तो बनाओगे ना भाई साहब. The problem here, without, like before you could pay, before the invoices are generated, it fell down. I know owners should bear the loss, but question ये है कि owner कौन है यहाँ पे? Guys, only that student can answer this question who knows about TOP और जिसको section 20 पता है. बाकी कोई माइक अलावा इसका आंसर नहीं दे सकता. Is it a problem or not? And if there is a problem, law must have to be there. So guys, tell me one thing. First of all, it is specific goods or not identified by an agreed, like identified is marked. We don't have a confusion which goods specific. Was it in deliverable state or not? Means like, look, deliverable state means nothing is pending according to the contract to be done on the, because यहाँ से किसी ने बोला next step is just the delivery. But मैंने इसीलिए पूछा आप जो बोल रहे हो आपको पता भी आप क्या बोल रहे हो? And thank you to be honest guys, you say नहीं है नहीं पता, बस पढ़ लिया तो बोल दिया. अब शायद आप realize कर सकते हो if all the conditions and the terms what we agreed in the contract, if they are satisfied. The law is trying to convey one message: buyer, you can't make drama now. You have to accept it. This is called deliverable state. So obviously it was packed, qualitatively tested, everything was fantastically fine. The next step was just to deliver. So obviously guys, in my example, both the phones were what in deliverable state. So guys, which section will be applicable? Section 20 will be applicable. So guys, what the section 20 says, my dear students, if specific goods are in deliverable state, ownership gets transferred as soon as contract is made. What is made? What is made? Contract is made.
Specific to the
In deliverable state, the ownership gets transferred as soon as what is made with contract. But a contract already I have started the discussion in what I can say BCom classes. Agreement enforceable by law. Enforceable by law says the lawful elements free consent blah blah blah. But let's focus on the agreement. What's the root cause for the agreement? Offer gets accepted. Offer gets accepted means there are two promises. In short, if I want to provide these things, if both the parties have confirmed, buyer is confirmed to buy and seller is confirmed to sell, guys, deal is done. Deal is done. Yes or no? Guys, in first example, when buyer took the phone on hands, was the deal done or not done? Guys, she was just looking at it as if like touching that glass in yesterday. पता है वो glass वाला example है. You are touching the glass, somebody pushed you and it got shattered. बेटा ये वही example है. Guys, in first example still the deal was not done. Why? No offer, no acceptance. Offer भी नहीं था, accept कौन करेगा भाई साहब? जब ऑफर एक्सेप्ट नहीं हुई तो एग्रीमेंट नहीं था, एग्रीमेंट नहीं था तो कॉन्ट्रैक्ट नहीं था, जब कॉन्ट्रैक्ट नहीं था तो ओनरशिप ट्रांसफर हो ही नहीं सकते. So in first example, ownership didn't get transferred. That means, guys, in first example, still the seller was. Now, my one question. So, guys, the position of the buyer was just as good as a baby. And, guys, the things got slipped off her hands. It was unintentional. Without default, she is not liable to pay. So, what? Sorry, I forgot. Niyat, right? What she can do the max like? अरे रे रे टूट गया, चलो मैं चलती हूँ, बस इतना करके निकल जा भाई, कुछ नहीं करना तेरे को. वो सर बोलेगा क्या हो गया? कुछ नहीं, लॉ इज प्रोटेक्टिंग यू. तेरी गलती क्या है? तुम्हारी गलती क्या है? कोई गलती नहीं तुम्हारी. लेकिन सेकंड क्वेश्चन पे आओ बच्चा. She took the phone, she just looked at the specs and she asked price. He said 1.5. She says okay, start preparing bill or packet. And seller also confirmed, okay ma'am. Guys, ultimately dialogue wise, can I say Niyati just asking a question, okay, 1.5x, I want to buy your phone at 1.5x, would you like to sell? And as soon as the seller said, okay ma'am, as soon as the last end got completed from her mouth, contract हो गया बच्चा. वही point है बच्चा जिसको हम बोलते हैं. आप समझ रहे हो? देखो ये नहीं, आप ये काफी माइक्रो लेवल डिटेल बता रहे हो इस क्लास में, कोई नहीं बताएगा आपको. इतनी माइक्रो लेवल डिटेल है. यहां तक कि आप कौन से शब्द, अगर आपने इतना पूछा 1.5 lakhs, यू सेड ओके, बट अगर सेलर ने ओके नहीं कहा तो भी डील नहीं हुई भाई साहब, क्योंकि सिर्फ ऑफर हुआ है, एक्सेप्ट. So who is giving the offer? वो भी important है. हालांकि उस complexity में नहीं जाना, because I have done the chapter for that, offer and acceptance. Let's wait for the contract act. I hope you just realize, guys, lawmakers पागल नहीं है कि उन्होंने chapter क्यों लिखा. Point of time. So guys, even though both the examples sounds similar, but दोनों की treatment altogether different. In first example, seller will bear the loss. In second example, contract is done, ownership has been transferred. And again, guys, without the fault of either of the parties, the goods got destroyed. Section 26 is applicable. Buyer will bear the loss. Now your doubt, so invoice is not made, payment कल ही बोला था, इन दोनों की जरूरत भी नहीं. Because ownership has nothing to do with the payment. Just the price needs to be there. It has nothing to do how there any formalities. Just intentions to transfer should be there. तो वो जो 2 मैंने दिया था कंफ्यूजन के लिए दिया था. ट्राई टू अंडरस्टैंड. आप समझ रहे हो? क्योंकि मैं जानता हूँ बेटा आपकी जो मेंटालिटी है कहाँ भागेगी. सर बिल तो बना नहीं, बिल की आवश्यकता नहीं है. सेकंड हैंड में कौन बिल देता है आपको? वाइल सेलिंग सेकंड हैंड गुड्स, हु प्रिपेयर्स द बिल? वही पुराना उठा कर दे देते हो आप. While look, we have the long sessions, sometimes 4 hours, 6 hours. So sometimes I will try to use little bit Hindi in the class. Like I hope you don't mind for that. Little bit चलेगा थोड़ा सा. ओके वेट, ईशान नाम मैं भूल रहा हूँ, ठीक है. तो मेरी मेमोरी आपकी जैसी अच्छी नहीं है, तो थोड़ा ध्यान रखना. बोलिए सर, क्या था आपका डाउट?
Sir, for the first example, what if the phone is very by intention?
if the buyer does it intentionally?
Then the party at
So you know
fault.
the answer. The party who is at default has to, because you have violated the one of the duties of bailiff. ये शायद मैंने कल बताया था, आपने वो वाइफ का फोन आया कि डाइवोर्स दे रही हो, आपने घोड़े को गोली मार दी। ये एग्जांपल मैंने दी थी।
You said about that before, last thingy, like last thingy, your wife talks and
Yeah, and you just shadow
So we
like,
have
oh,
to
you
do
have to. It's as good as that, I think. Yes, sir.
Sir, what if she has to wrap the? It's like a present, bro.
Okay, it's just like a gift, like that. You say, okay, fine. I confirm. No, that's such a wonderful things actually. Wonderful. She said, okay, fine. Please pack it, but please pack in the gift wrap. Gift wrap. But before the gift wrap and all those things could get done, this incident happened and the phones got broken off. Guys, please try to understand. My simple question to you, Ritesh. Contract was made
yes.
to transfer the ownership of iPhone. रैप इज समथिंग कॉल्ड कॉम्प्लीमेंट्री और एडिशनल। अब आप उसको रैप करो, तोड़ो, फोड़ो, डेकोरेट करो, सेलर को कुछ लेना देना नहीं,
That is not
बिकॉज रैपिंग इज नॉट द कंडीशन टू ट्रांसफर द ओनरशिप, एंड दैट वाज नॉट द एग्रीमेंट टू बी डिलीवरेबल स्टेट। रैपिंग कभी डिलीवरेबल स्टेट का कंडीशन नहीं होता ना, until unless you specifically agree, until unless you agree. Generally, as soon as the packed things comes to a table, you confirm that you become the owner. अब रैपिंग कौन सा कलर लेना है नहीं लेना, सेलर को उससे कुछ हुआ आपको, इनफैक्ट फॉर दैट दे आर चार्जिंग एक्स्ट्रा because that's altogether another contract. Sometimes they give as a complimentary, but it has nothing to do with the main contract.
So that becomes a payment part.
Not bailment.
So because you own the phone now you just give it to them just to wrap
In the first example, you are bailment. Second example, you are already owner of the goods. You are possessing your own goods. How can it be like? I told you ownership has been transferred. तो आप अपना ही फोन कैरी कर रहे हो ना?
So you're the seller, I'm the buyer. Now I give the phone back to you after
Yeah, that is why then you have to be a little bit careful for a while. Of course, then in that case, if I give to back like for wrapping or sometimes I buy a car and I don't take the position on the spot, but they make some accessory installments and lot of other things. So fine, again after sale you become what? The bailiff. तो मैंने कल ही समझा दिया था, if any seller possesses the goods after sale, his position is no more seller, his position becomes what? Bailiff. So bailment would come to the picture. Now guys, I think hope the entire section 20 all the micro details are clear. So guys, you won't believe, in the name of section 20 ICAI material has given just one small paragraph. और जब मैंने उसको देखा मैंने कहा ये बच्चे कैसे समझ पाएंगे, लेकिन ठीक है, पिछले आधे घंटे से चिल्ला रहा हूँ इसके ऊपर। आप समझ रहे हो? तो बेटा पढ़ाई कैसे की जाती है वो भी समझो आप, क्योंकि अब आप स्कूल के बच्चे नहीं हो, ये फाइनल क्रैक करना है। गाइस वो ऐसे ऐसे क्वेश्चन पूछेंगे ना, मज़ा आ जाएगा। समटाइम्स इन ऑर्डर टू सॉल्व सम प्रैक्टिकल प्रॉब्लम हम आईसीआई के क्वेश्चन पेपर देखते हैं उन्होंने क्या ट्रीटमेंट दिया, क्योंकि इट मेक्स अस टू लर्न दैट हाउ द अमेंडमेंट्स आर इंटरप्रेटेड एंड लॉट ऑफ थिंग्स देयर। Okay, I think still I have time and I should touch the other point, non-deliverable state.
not deliverable.
Pardon?
Something not that doesn't follow like section 20 comes to 21.
Something what falls into 20 comes into 21. No. Oh my God, you people have a lot of misconceptions here. कितने दूर करूँ?
the contract has been made, but the goods are
Not in deliverable state. Yeah, fine, but you know what? एक सीधी सी बात है. Avoid the text. Let's come to the cases now. केस पढ़ते हैं, खत्म बात, तो रिलेट कर पाओगे बेटा। अगर चाहो ना मैं सोगा 3 घंटे में खत्म कर सकता हूँ, 3 घंटे में खत्म कर सकता हूँ। 5 घंटे मैंने सिर्फ कॉन्ट्रैक्ट ऑफ सेल पढ़ाने में निकाला है। आप समझ रहे हो? चलो मेरी तारीफ बहुत हो गई। Okay, fine. I'm sorry to it's out of context. Nothing would come in the syllabus. Non-deliverable state, guys. I have an example. I went to one factory. Okay, the factory is for the edible oil, and I want to buy the groundnut oil. The peanut oil, very good for health, precisely. I went over there, and in the factory there were the wells underground. So I told this, I want 1 lakh liters, so almost around 10 tons approximately. 1 lakh liters quantity I want to buy, 100 tons. Sorry. So I went over there and he just pointed me out that so this entire well, the oil which is here underground, this entire oil contains exactly 1 lakh liters. I tested a few samples. I just did like in the oil everybody does like this, and I like the quality actually, the way you just processed it, and I placed the order. But along with that, I put my condition that I want this 1 lakh liters in 10 liters each container. So at the end of the day, you tell me guys how many containers are prepared. 1 lakh divided by 10 is equal to 10,000 containers will be prepared. Please try to understand here contract has already been made. We discussed the price, you confirmed, I confirmed. You supply this 1 lakh liters, but condition is what? Each container should be carrying 10 liters each. And I will pay per liter 500 rupees. That's the deal now. That's the deal. 50 lakhs rupees, no. 500 lakhs, 5 crore rupees deal I have made with you. Now the point is contract has already been made. But tell me my dear students, at present, goods are specific or not? You identified, I identified, no confusion. Which, what will be delivered? Or why identified, not the specific. Deliverable or not deliverable?
Not available.
Because in this loose form, I am not in the position to accept it. The reason is you have not done according to the contract. My simple question to you now, I will give you the 3 to 4 different layers of the same example. Okay? And you have to try to solve it. Assume guys, unfortunately, due to the bad weather, the thunder attacked the factory and caught the fire and everything got destroyed. You know what happens when the oil factory gets caught with the fire? Everything like pura bomb ki tarah bhag gaya. Pura oil khatam ho gaya, including that 1 lakh one what I selected. Who will bear the loss? Simple, owner will bear the loss. Who was the owner?
You are the contract has been made.
Contract has been made.
Then you will be the baby.
पागलो, contract has been made तो ownership transfer होती है, that is available in section 20. Now we are discussing section 21, so rules are different. सोचते नहीं हो, बस भाग. कल ये बोला था भागो मत, मर जाओ. साइकिल चलाओ, गाड़ी नहीं. समझ आ रही है? साइकिल हेल्थ के लिए अच्छी होती है, एग्जाम के हेल्थ के लिए अच्छी होती है. So guys, here what will happen? Here what will happen? Simple. Why goods are not put in deliverable state? No deliverable state. Transfer of ownership is not possible at all. Goods are not prepared according to my conditions. How can you say you are the owner? How can you say you are the owner? Make the things ready according to my descriptions, then I may be. Yes or no? So guys, here just contract is made, but still it is agreement to sale. It's not sale by just agreement means ownership will get transferred somewhere in future. So here the ownership didn't get transferred. Entire loss will be borne by the owner, and the owner was only seller. But let's now increase the difficulty of the example and the case now. Are you ready? Okay. All the 10,000 containers are ready now. And now thunder attacked the factory, fire got, everything got destroyed. Ab kaun loss?
Sir, did the seller give the notice to the buyer that he called inform that you have
No,
finished?
not given.
Then the seller.
Not given. कोई notice नहीं दिया. Just he packed it, put it into the godown. He thought that tomorrow I will inform the buyer, but before he could have informed, fire caught and everything got destroyed. For your current information, contract is made. Now the goods are in. So now the deliverable state got destroyed. Who will bear the loss? Owner will bear the loss. But the question is, who is the owner here? Simple. If ownership has been transferred, buyer, not transferred. बस हमको देखो ये, अगर आपको जिंदगी में ये पता चल जाए ना कि आपकी रियल प्रॉब्लम क्या है, बेटा खुशियाँ ढूंढने की जरूरत नहीं पड़ेगी, वो द्वार पे आकर खड़ी होगी.
The second case is that back, but no notice was given.
Notice, just forget about it. Just the packed and put it like nothing was informed to the buyer. The fact is like they are in deliverable state
Then
and the goods got destroyed. Contract has already been made. That's the things.
when the seller
So please try to chase behind. We are chasing behind who is the owner now. And for that we have to study. So guys, this question is more suitable under the section 20 or 21? Guys, 21. So please try to understand the rules of 20 you can't apply here in 21. Am I clear? So guys, 21 says one thing here. That if the goods are not in deliverable state but specific, contract has already been made, then ownership gets transferred as soon as these two conditions are satisfied. If the goods are specific and not in deliverable state, the ownership gets transferred on fulfillment of these two conditions. Guys, those two conditions are the real gems for our exam. Condition number one, goods are put in deliverable state according to the agreement. Yes or no? Goods are put in deliverable state. And second condition is, guys, be very, very cautious when I say something very sensitive. Buyer has notice thereof. क्या लिखा है लॉ में? Buyer has notice thereof. Highlight कर दो अगर आपके पास highlighted है. Buyer has notice thereof. Means buyer must have knowledge about it that his goods are packed. His goods are put into deliverable state. Am I clear? So in this example, I think you know the answer now. Goods are in deliverable state. So first condition is satisfied. Second was, because as we are discussing that seller didn't inform. In fact, he wanted to inform to the buyer at very much next day. So Archit here is right. मैंने इसलिए उसको बोला था कि भाई तू जो बोल रहा है उसका आंसर जो है वो इनकम्प्लीट है, क्योंकि भाई साहब आपने अज्यूम कर लिया कि वो सेक्शन 21 का क्वेश्चन है, 20 के बारे में बोला ही नहीं था. आप समझ रहे हो? So guys, in this question the entire loss again would be borne by अब देखो, चलो अब थोड़ा और उसको मॉडिफाई करते हैं. थर्ड लेवल क्वेश्चन, फोर्थ भी बाकी. He put everything into the containers, put into that things, and he just called the buyer and said, "Sir, your goods are ready. Please come and take the delivery." Buyer says, "Okay, I'll come someday." And now thunder attacks and everything got destroyed. Who will bear the loss now? You should. Very easy now. You tell me, in order to transfer the ownership under section 21, whatever conditions needed to be satisfied, have they been satisfied? Answer is of course yes. As soon as those get satisfied, who becomes owner? Buyer. Possession doesn't matter in the law of contract. You know that. तो ये जो चीज़ है ना, पोजीशन, क्योंकि एक आर्ग्यूमेंट आती है, सर यू आर पोजीशन, हाउ आई एम रिस्पॉन्सिबल. यू आर रिस्पॉन्सिबल because that happened without default. So you don't understand. Here if you want to prove seller guilty, prove it was seller's mistake. Fire caught due to negligence and carelessness of the seller. तब जाके आप जीत पाओगे बेटा.
He was not fulfilling his duties as a baby.
वो भी आप उसको थोड़ा डिस्प्रूव करो.
The first two cases, owner is the seller.
चलो. The second, as soon as he just informs that the goods are ready, as soon as he just makes that conversation completed, he becomes what? The owner. अब आइए एक प्रॉब्लम समझते हैं. इनफैक्ट द लॉ स्टूडेंट्स हु आर परस्यूइंग LLB, they have the same misconceptions. Because when I check the paper of the students and I ask any question related to section 21, बच्चे मिस्टेक कर देते, जो अभी अर्चित ने इस क्लास में किया. Obviously two conditions are there. ठीक है, मैं एक कंडीशन आपके सामने बोल रहा हूँ, and like what you have to do is you have to just cross check, am I saying according to the law or not. If the goods are not in deliverable state but specific, ownership gets transferred on fulfillment of the following conditions. Condition number one, non-deliverable state goods should be put into deliverable and seller must inform the buyer about that. Is it true? Seller shall intimate the buyer about it, that your goods are ready. Is this answer like correct or incorrect? ये आंसर सही है गलत है? आप बोले डाउटफुल. बेटा आपके आंसर में आपने यही बोला था कि सेलर ने, चलो मैं ज़्यादा सस्पेंस क्रिएट नहीं करना चाहता, टाइम नहीं है अपने पास, सीधा आंसर पे आते गाइस. ये आंसर गलत है बेटा. लॉ क्या कहना चाहता है वो समझो. लॉ ये कहता है बायर शुड हैव नोटिस देयरऑफ. It doesn't say seller must have to notify. Guys, notice may come from any sources. Your relative is working with the seller and he informed you that your goods are ready. Ownership has been transferred. But when you say the seller must have to intimate, that means you're limiting the interpretation. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Guys, seller informs or anyone informs. Information is important. Let's say occasionally you're visiting the plant and you saw your goods are ready. Nobody communicated. You have the knowledge that your goods are ready. You are the owner of the goods, guys. So the language is you must have knowledge about that your goods are ready. Seller not necessarily needs to be. Like if seller informs, that's one of the methods of getting the notice, but that's not only the method to get the notice, guys. So choose your sentences and words wisely, guys. This is the game of CA. यहाँ पे स्कूल वाले टंटे नहीं चलने वाले. आप समझ में आ रहा? इंटरव्यू ले रहा था बच्चा, इतना मेरे को दुख हुआ. बच्चे का परसेंटेज 96 है और एक एंट्री पूछा मैंने, क्रेडिट सेल का एंट्री बताओ, सेल्स अकाउंट डेबिट टू कैश. मैंने कहा भाई महान है तू, किसने तेरे को अकाउंट में 98 दिए यार? स्कैम चल रहा है स्कूल में.
So that's law and intervention.
Pardon?
That's law and intervention.
It's a corporate law. That's a different horizon. Companies, directors, shareholders, or something. It was the deleted.
But it might have been set off somewhere else.
It's not a setup, it's like a voluntary module, like a self-study module. So it is there. But self-study मतलब खुद से पढ़ लो, कौन मेरा चाचा पढ़ेगा उसमें छोड़ दो.
So one question, what if the seller informs the assistant of the buyer?
He's still the agent of the buyer, so it's still the considered.
If he's the agent, then the different story. If he's not the agent, don't touch that point. वो agency अभी मत पढ़े, वो बाद में सीखेंगे. Fourth question now. I want to extend bit time here. May I?
Sure.
थोड़ा एक लास्ट क्वेश्चन करके आगे जाएंगे. ठीक है? कहानी को एक नया मोड़ देंगे. ठीक है? This is what exactly they are asking in CA Foundation. Now the question what I am taking in this class, now they have already asked. How much containers supposed to be there? 10,000. 5,000 containers are ready, remaining 5,000 are pending. Out of 10,000, seller prepared how much? 5,000. That means 50,000 liters already packed. Remaining 50,000 didn't get packed. Thunder attacked, everything got destroyed. Who will bear the loss? Thunder. As being seller, my duty is to put the loose oil into containers. I completed up to 50%, 50,000. 50,000 liters, 10 liters each, 5,000 containers are ready. I just left in with my godown, thunder attack, everything got destroyed. Who will bear the loss? Okay, so answer is quite easy. Buyer was not informed. Don't use that language, please. Buyer didn't have notice. He was not aware about it. Seller will bear the loss. Simple. Go with the precise language. I prepared 5,000. Then I called. Sir, your half of the goods are ready. Come and take it.
What did the buyer do?
Informed. Then at that night, let me complete. At that night, thunder attacked and everything got destroyed. Who will bear the loss?
So what did the buyer do?
What did buyer say? Is it okay? And he cut the phone. He said, और क्या बोलूँ? ठीक है, fine. Thank you for your information. Thank you. That's what he said. Who will bear the loss? This is CFO. Guys, actually after learning section 21, I would say the question should be quite easy. Look, for the 50% goods are put into deliverable state, condition number 1, for the first 50% is satisfied, you inform the buyer, but our law doesn't say you have to take the consent of the buyer, it says just to notify. Just put and bring into his notice, that's all. You have communicated for the 50%. So as soon as you just comply both the conditions for half of the goods, for the 50% ownership has been transferred, for the remaining it's not. So according to ICAI, 50% which are packed, buyer will bear the loss. Remaining 50% on which the processing hadn't been started yet, seller supposed to bear the loss. Am I clear? But I don't agree with ICAI. I think Raghav बोल बेटा, शायद तेरे पास करेक्ट आंसर है.
Divisible. Like what?
That's what, guys. Now, if you have the answer, guys, that means now your brain is tuned with the law subject. Pagalo. Don't you think divisibility comes to the picture? Guys, ICI ignore that part. If it is indivisible contract, for me, until you give me whole 10,000 containers, I won't accept it. So if it is indivisible contract, the things would become deliverable state only in the case when I am bound to accept. And when I am bound to accept, guys, if you supply me whole 10,000, even just one container is missing there, I won't accept it. So guys, still the goods are not in deliverable state. And if the goods are not in deliverable state, first condition itself is not getting fulfilled, provided if the goods are in indivisible state. Like if the contract is indivisible. But if it is divisible contract, and buyer doesn't have any objection whether it is half, part or anything, then and only then the ICAI's answer is correct. But one more thing I want to add, my students. I told you, sir, your 5,000 containers are ready. Please come and take. Guys, what buyer said on the phone? Guys, okay means is ready to accept the house. Guys, automatically your term okay makes the contract divisible. Guys, आप समझो. और लोग कहते हैं शब्दों में क्या, शब्द ही ब्रह्मांड में सॉरी कुछ ज़्यादा चलेगा, सब कुछ वो गलत नहीं है बेचारा, छोड़ो, वो प्रूव कर सकता हूँ मैं. तो शब्दों का चयन, ओ गॉड, इट्स टू प्योर हिंदी. बी वाइज चूजिंग वर्ड्स. आई होप यू अंडरस्टैंडिंग. किसी को ओके कहना है बड़ा 2 बार सोचना. जब कोई ये पूछे क्या मेरी जिंदगी में आओगे, अगर हाँ कह दिया, क्या पढ़ा रहा हूँ मैं यार, छोड़ो ऐसे कुछ. इन शॉर्ट, बी वेरी वाइज, बी वेरी मेटिक्यूलस, बी वेरी प्रिसाइज व्हेन यू आर choosing the words, guys. If you have something in your heart, in your intentions, please convey. Intentions in your heart, law will not recognize. Law just understands and recognizes the conveyed intentions, communicated. So guys, as soon as the seller says, so your half of the goods are ready, when you're coming to take the delivery, please, if you have something in your heart, counter it. Excuse me, you have not completed all the 10,000 containers. Seller says, no, so yeah, please complete that, then I will accept it. Be harsh. Guys, just one thing I want to tell you. You are learning commerce. Commerce means business. बेटा बिजनेस में सगे पापा के साथ भी अगर डील करनी है ना तो क्लैरिफिकेशन चाहिए, वरना बाद में पछताना पड़ सकता है. आई होप आई एम क्लियर गाइस. आई विल नॉट स्टार्ट द अदर सेक्शन. एक आखिरी क्वेश्चन है. आई वांट टू टेस्ट योर नॉलेज. देखना चाहता हूं अब कितने सॉल्व कर पाए. आर यू रेडी? More 5 minutes. All of you are?
Yeah.
Till this the story is clear?
Yeah.
Pakka?
Yes, sir.
Let's accept the challenge then.
Calm down.
I am a farmer. I am a farmer. You come to me and say that, sir, what are you going to grow in this season? I said tomatoes. पता नहीं tomatoes काफी दिमाग में आ रहे हैं.
उनका प्राइस बता दो.
And we have a deal that, okay, fine, Mr. Chirag, let's have a deal that whatever you grow in your farm, I want to buy all the tomatoes of your farm. All. Specificness. All the tomatoes at the rate of 80 rupees per kg. These are the organic tomatoes. No chemicals are used, no urea, nothing. Natural way. I said, okay, I will supply. I started implanting the seeds and sprinkling the water. Suddenly, the plants started coming out of the soil. Before I could get the fruits from the flowers, thunder attacked on my entire farm and everything got destroyed. Who will bear the loss?
So much tender.
No, it's actually, this question makes sense. Thank God I'm not teaching philosophy. But 3 घंटे का लेक्चर झाड़ दूंगा उसके लिए. मेरे मन में मेरा अपना यूनिवर्स है. मैं थंडर ला भी सकता हूँ मैं थंडर रोक भी सकता हूँ,
काल भी पड़
मैं
सकता
किसी
है।
को भी मार दूंगा, बेटा मैं ही भगवान हूँ। कि कुछ ज़्यादा हो रहा है यार, बट गलत भी नहीं है ना बच्चा, गलत भी नहीं है, सोचना भी। When you close your eyes, guys, you are getting ultimate freedom. You can create anything, you can destroy anything. You are the creator of the hell and heaven. आप अपने दिमाग में अपनी खुद की दुनिया बना सकते हो. Don't you think this question should be asked psychologically? Then when we can have this much ultimate freedom to create anything in our brain, why are we stuck in this restricted world?
सभी पेरेंट्स हैं।
बहुत कुछ है बेटा, ये नहीं, इसलिए मैं बोल रहा हूँ क्वेश्चन पूछने से पहले सोच लेना, बहुत कुछ हो सकता है. ये सिर्फ नोट आउट.
Sir, I have a question regarding that. Is there any condition that if there is nothing of this thunderstorm on the ground, then I will send you?
No condition is imposed in this question.
So what is the price they decided?
60 rupees per, no, 80 rupees per kg.
When did the thunderstorm farm got awarded?
When I just started to grow, just those seeds got sprouted and these plants started coming out of the land and it started. I think this question doesn't sound difficult. Easy है ना? अरे भाई भी fruits ही नहीं आए. So obviously the entire loss will be borne by farmer. That means me the seller. Come on guys, be judgmental now. Now what I'm doing, I'm just layering the situation. This situation, then what happens? If this is the things, what happens? If this is the things, what happens? So what I want to show all the colors in one sample. I hope you are clear. Now assume, my dear students, the second situation, like I started, the sowing the seeds, it started sprouting, and suddenly the plants are coming out of, and now the flowers got converted to fruit. Now thunder attacked and everything got destroyed. Everything. Who will bear the loss? Again, farmer. The reason is still that things. Buyer को छोड़ो, अभी goods ही पैदा नहीं हुए, goods आए नहीं, they आए because goods get the good state only if they are separated from the land.
Yeah.
Still they are attached to the land, they are not in the goods form. They are in the goods form, but until they become severed, you can't transfer the ownership. That's what already we learnt in the goods definition. Chase behind the logic. Still, they are goods, but ownership is not possible until you make them into movable state. Level number 3, guys. You sprouted plants, fruits, you pluck them off, put in one go down, and now thunder attacks. Everything got destroyed. Ab go down ko attack kiya usme. Again the farmer, reason is goods are still in, but chase behind the real logic. Ownership is not transferred. Why ownership is not transferred? अरे भाई वो goods deliverable state में भी नहीं है. So I try to understand the difference between my previous example and this example. In my previous example, my attention was to make you aware that goods are not movable. In this example, I want to just draw your attention towards they are movable but not deliverable. Because generally the tomatoes are packed in wooden boxes. Yeah? Now my students, in my go down, tomatoes are there. I just called a lot of wooden boxes. I packed 25 kgs each box, very well packed. Very well packed. After packing, guys, I put them in my go down, thunder attacked, everything got destroyed.
No, because buyers.
Who will bear the loss now? Farmer, again, reason.
Buyer.
Buyer doesn't have notice thereof. Yes or no? First condition is satisfied, second is not. अब जरा सावधान हो जाइए बेटा. अब ये question है. Goods are plucked off, put into godown. They are packed very well. They are put in the godown, and now farmer calls to the buyer. Sir, your goods are packed. Come and take. Buyer says, okay, I will come as soon as possible. You just prepare. And suddenly, guys, thunder attacks and everything got destroyed. Who will bear the loss? Who will bear the loss? Who will bear the loss now? Who will bear the loss now? But answer to this question is seller will bear the loss. Why? Find tomorrow. Thank you.
So repeat what the seller said, like buyer said, that what did he
I will come as soon as possible.